All right, folks, we're going to talk about food. These food items are getting more costly in 2022. So again, inflation. What is inflation? Does anyone know? All right, so check this out. You might be coming on this video. You don't know who I am. Hello, my name is Andrea. I am a funny podcaster. Emphasis on funny. I'm also hot as fuck. But anyway, so inflation. What is inflation? Inflation is a feedback loop. Okay? So someone somewhere... Now again, what do stores want to do? They want to maximize profits. So when they want to maximize profits, right, what they do is they will try to make the price for something higher than the cost to produce it or acquire it. So let's say it costs, just for the sake of simplicity, it costs 80 cents for a loaf of bread, right? To make all the materials, like it doesn't actually, but again, just for the simple math, it costs 80 cents to make a loaf of bread, package it up with the plastic wrap, all that stuff, put it on the shelf. Then, let's say if you sell it for 81 cents, you make 1 cent of profit. If you sell it for 90 cents, you make 10 cents of profit, right? So let's say the average price of bread was $1, right? And it costs 80 cents to make, and that was normal up until, like, you know, inflation hit or whatever, right? So, but again, the overall way the companies and stores and big chains like Walmart and Amazon and stuff, the way that they make their money is by maximizing that delta between the production cost, the acquisition cost, and the sale price. So, okay, inflation hits. And now that bread might cost 7 cents to produce. But they're not going to cost $1 at the store. It's going to cost $1.60. It's going to cost $2 because inflation. Now, again, there are a lot of items, right, with the supply chain being fucked. There's a lot of items that are like, you know, the demand outweighs the supply, and there is natural inflation. But again, food is not one of those things most of the time, right? We get a lot of our food domestically. Now, if it's imported goods, that's fine, right? But again, a lot of our food is domestically grown, right? So the big deltas, now again, there might be an increase in the cost to produce something, but these giant deltas that we're seeing in stores it's not inflation. So someone somewhere said inflation, and then Walmart was like, did someone say inflation? Did someone say... All right, I'm turning on CNN right now, and then you see Joe Manchin talk about inflation. All right, we're going to raise everything. So again, I need y'all to understand, this isn't like a natural supply and demand thing. These companies and these grocery stores and these big chains like Walmart are stealing from you. They think that you are dumb enough that they can get away with raising their prices and then blame inflation. Now again, the cost to produce things might actually go up, but the actual delta between the cost to produce and the sale price is not going up significantly enough to justify higher prices. Like, for example, water, like buying bottled water, gallons of water, that kind of stuff has doubled in price in the last 6 months. Right? There are a lot of items that are doubling, tripling in price. They have no need to. And everyone's blaming inflation. Can you point to inflation? No. Can you define inflation? No. What is inflation? Now again, yes, inflation does exist. When there's more US dollars, right, the value of the US dollar does go down. But again, we're seeing these massive price spikes that are like not at all logically connected to the actual inflated amount, like the inflated value or the deflated value of the dollar, right? So you need to understand they are taking advantage of you because you're dumb. You're an American. You're a fucking idiot. All right, so you're going to go to the store and you're going to buy the same food again because you're dumb. You're not going to rethink, oh, maybe I should buy something else. Maybe I should try to get something that's a little cheaper, maybe a little healthier, because most of the inflation is on bad foods. Frozen foods, processed foods is where most of the inflation is going to be because they've got more steps along the process, right? Where they can say, oh, that cost has gone up, that cost, factory has gone up, you know, the working in the factory, the electricity. So processed foods are skyrocketing. Because of that, they're going to blame that. So anyway, I'm going to read this article here. So now that you've got the little primer, not to be confused with the time travel movie, which is really good. Everything from coffee to mustard is getting more expensive next year. Many food manufacturers say they plan to raise prices in 2022 for a range of products from macaroni and cheese to snacks. Their latest sign that consumers will continue to face higher prices at the supermarket. There's nothing immune from price increases, said Tony Sarsman, Chief Executive Officer, the CEO of a fucking food company. Yeah, let's take this guy's word seriously. Let's take this seriously. Adding that produce, dairy, and packaged foods such as bread and juice are among many items set to become more pricey next year. Food prices are estimated to rise 5% in the first half of 2022. According to research from firm IRI, though the level of increases will vary by grocers and regions. Mondelez International said recently that it was raising prices across cookies, candies, and other products sold by the U.S. by 6 to 7%. You don't need cookies. You don't need candies. Learn how to eat like a normal human being. Did you know 95% of Americans don't eat vegetables? Every day, 95% of Americans go their whole day without eating vegetables. What? But okay. General Mills Inc. and Campbell's Soup said their price increases also would take effect in January. Kraft told retailer customers that they would be raising prices across many of its products, including Jell-O pudding and Grey Poupon mustard, with some items seeing as much as 20%. You don't need these items. You don't need them. Think about that. Think about the items that you're buying. I want this to be a wake-up call. When you go to the store, what the fuck are you buying and why? Why are you buying cookies and frosted flakes and white bread? I'm sorry, I gotta sneeze. You don't need that shit. So anyway, 13%, 22%. You're telling me the cost to produce mustard has gone up 22%. No! Of course not. So rethink what you buy. Shop intelligently, save money, and fix your fucking diet. That's all I have to say. Consumers remain... This part right here. Consumers remain willing to spend on groceries even as price rises. Some companies say, though that is starting to change as shoppers become more price sensitive, they're buying cheaper versions of meat and cooking oil, among other things. You don't need meat in your life. I'm sorry. Maybe eat beans instead. Now, beans have raised in price. But I've seen a lot, like, I have meat eaters in my family, and a lot of them talk about how they can't afford meat as much. So stop eating meat. Consider it. But anyway, folks, I just wanted to talk about this. I don't care about the rest of this. Is just like stenography for CEOs of food companies. They're just going to not give you the straight dope. Fuck them. Fuck them in the face. Fuck them in the face again. And then when you're done fucking them in the face, like when you come all over them, you're going to fuck them in the face again. Because we don't care about them. What you need to start learning is that the food industry is not your friend. They are your enemies. They are your enemies. The food industry are your enemies. Sugar is addictive. They put sugar in everything because they want you to be addicted to their products. You are on drugs. You need rehab. You need a support group. You don't need these cookies and these fucking fancy mustards. I'm sorry, you don't. You don't need them. So don't buy into their garbage. Oh, they want to raise prices? All right, have fun with that. I'm going to go somewhere else. I'm going to buy something else. So I'm just saying, fuck that shit.